As the weeds grow up, while the grass is dormant, they're stealing all the nutrients. When the grass is back, now they have to share the nutrients. But the weeds have a head start. The weeds have a big head start. So, welcome to Leading Leaders Podcast. 5-minute videos, 5 days a week. So what I find when I go out into the yard is I find uneven sprouts of weeds taller than grass, which makes it real easy for me to grab them and yank them out of the ground by their roots. But they have strong roots because they've been rooting all season. They've been rooting through the winter while the grass was dormant. While the grass was doing nothing, the weeds were growing. So getting a hold of them and pulling them out by the roots takes a lot of work. In the end, my tiny little yard, I pulled almost 5 pounds of weeds out of the ground. I want to ask you, in your life, where do you lay that metaphor? Because it's an absolute reality that whether it's your thought life, or it's the actions that you take, or it's the actions that you don't take, if it's the work that you do or the hobbies that you do, or the work that you need to do and the work that you tend to put off, procrastination, or sociologically, it's those who wait for the main body to be dormant before they do anything, and then what they do is steal the nutrition, steal the sustenance, steal the vibrancy. You following me? See, I think in the leadership role, we call it the Feretto principle. 20% of the people do 80% of the work. 20% of the people deliver 80% of the results. But 80% of the people do 20% of the work. And 80% of the people consume 20% of the people consume 80% of the resources. Weeds. Now you have a choice whether you're going to be a contributor to society or you're going to be a burden on society. If you're going to contribute to the overall success of humanity, or you're just going to wait to get yours. That's a decision. But it's also a fact that when the grass is dormant, the weeds are going to grow. When your thought life isn't being cultivated to be good, forward-thinking, progressive thinking, growing yourself, learning, building, improving yourself, well, then the thoughts that are not necessarily productive, those are going to be the ones that are taking root. When your life isn't being committed toward a new vision, toward a new idea, toward a new purpose, toward a growth, then all the clutter and the distractions, those are going to take root. And the longer you let them take root without challenging them, the taller those weeds are going to grow. See, I can go up and down the street and see the people whose lawns have not been weeded yet. The place where they've got little tiny grass that's just barely beginning to grow back in early spring, but they've got weeds that are knee high. And the weeds are sucking all the nutrients out of the ground, and as long as they're allowed to grow there, the grass will never grow back. And if they don't take the diligent effort to one by one go by and pull those roots out of the ground by their roots, well, then they may have to pour some kind of chemicals on it and hope that they kill the weeds but not the grass. In your life, it's true as well. In your workplace where you lead, it's true as well. In your family, in your bookshelves, in your entertainment. When those things that are meant to be there are dormant, things that are not meant to be there are going to sprout up. They're going to take root. And they're going to take over all the nutrients and all the ability to grow and all the opportunity to grow that you could possibly muster. Trust me, if you just keep watering your lawn when it's 50-50 weeds and grass, the weeds will win. If you just keep feeding your life stuff without getting rid of the weeds, the distracting thoughts, the corrupted thoughts, the thoughts anywhere for you that are not producing anything in you, then you're going to find that the weeds will eventually win. The distracted thoughts, the anxieties, the fears, the dangers, the anger, it will win. If you feed them both the same, the weeds will always win. And while the grass is dormant, in that season, when you feel like you're slowing down, that's when the distractions, that's when the bad thoughts, that's when the things that are leading you the wrong direction, that's when they'll take root and they'll grow stronger and they'll steal all the nutrients. Lay the metaphor wherever you'd like to, about your thought life, about your work habits, about society, about politics, about faith, wherever you want to put it. The truth remains. When the grass is dormant, the weeds are going to grow. I'm Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day. Subscribe now for our extensive video library of leadership lessons promoting faith, family, and freedom.